Alex Answer here. It is October 24th in the year 2017. Hope you all are doing well. I've been pretty busy the last few days getting a lot of things done. I want to take the time to thank a close friend of mine, someone I met in the last few months that has been very helpful during this period in time in which my car is not working. And I'm working on lineup, getting some help, getting that repaired. But yeah, um, what I wanted to talk about today, and I want to hold back a lot of emotion, but this isn't really necessarily directed at anyone specific, and it is. It is directed at someone specific, and then again, it's not. There are a lot of people out there that are using religion for their political agenda, and I consider that somewhat of a sin. Okay. Um, I think that it's wrong to pretend that you have particular religious ideals. When people remove the teachings of Jesus out of their religious rant, and let me just grab my own Bible. You know, my Bible, I don't do Bible readings, and I don't really consider myself in any box because I don't think that that's what we need to do. But there's a reason why this book, it's a New Testament. This entire time, including during my travels, I have had this book as protection because I truly do believe in the Christ consciousness. And it's way different than what a lot of New Agers, even and religious folks. See, I have my Social Security card inside my Bible because I don't want to lose my Social Security card. This is like its own special wallet. What I'm going to do is randomly flip to some scriptures that aren't too cryptic that may make some sense. And I'm going to attempt, I guess we're putting this in the hands of God, aren't we? But I've done this before with my other books. See, and what I see right now, what I feel, are Satanists using this book for this political agenda. To those of you that are guilt tripping people for not supporting Donald Trump and putting everybody into the deep state category, um, someone a little bit more angrier than me would tell you to go to hell. But I would say that you will get there soon enough. And I'm starting to get mad because I'm tired of seeing these people use the Lord's name in vain and act like they're Christians, act like they care about people. And then we'll even talk about the victims of war. Oh, I'm against the war. I'm against the occupation of Afghanistan and Iraq. And then Donald Trump will come out and generalize a whole group of people. They're losers. They're terrorists. We're going after them. We're going after their families. And then you see them still support what he's doing after the strikes on Syria, after the strikes on Yemen. And then the latest things that are, I just decided to stop covering whatever Trump's doing. I don't know if you people picked up on that. You people. Just give me a hat called Ross Perot. I don't know if you guys have noticed, right, that I haven't turned this channel into this fight. Let's fight the alt-right. Let's go out. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm more of a philosopher. I'm not perfect, but I believe in telling the truth and not using the book, not using religion and especially to guilt trip and to play both sides and to take advantage of what you could say is a mentally ill YouTube audience. A certain amount of them just want to be told that daddy's coming home. Have I talked to you about the Trump love archetype that doesn't make sense? Because not trusting Donald Trump, not trusting the idea of Donald Trump being the Messiah doesn't make you a racist. I'm sorry, what's that? Did we go back to 2008? If you don't like Obama, it's happening again on the other side. It's happening again on the other side. What, you don't like Obama? You're a racist. What, you don't like Donald Trump and what he's doing? You want the death of the white race? We are now living in dangerous times because these thought forms have set in. And there's extremism on both the left and the right as the taunting gets more extreme and the name calling gets more extreme and other things, the violence in the streets gets more extreme. I've brought this up many, many times in the past. We didn't see this 4 years ago. Tired of people acting like this is normal or that it's just coming from the left or anti-fa. It's really a multi-pronged situation. We didn't have the same type of hysteria regarding certain immigrants a few years ago. A lot of this has been manufactured and catapulted through social media. And what is troubling to me is that it's not over. So, my question is, and then we'll start looking for some scripture. And when Jesus had cried out with a loud voice, he said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Having said this, he breathed his last. So and I guess this is Luke 23. And the whole crowd who came together to that sight, seeing what had been done, and beat their breasts and returned. But all of his acquaintances and the women who followed him stood at a distance, watching these things. Watching these things. We go to another spot here. Because, what came to me, Jesus turning to the Creator with regards to the Spirit. There are people that do this, that are laughed at, that are mocked today. People that truly believe in the Creator, people that truly believe in the nonviolent teachings of Jesus. And we are laughed at, called closet Hillary supporters, closet this, for just being human beings that haven't completely lost ourselves to the machine. You want to talk about Christian values under attack? Man, now I am thinking about that one individual. Man, you are a punk. You are a punk. And it's like you're trying to lead your viewers on YouTube, punk, straight to hell. You know it's wrong to go along with this genocide. And yet you're guilt tripping people for not getting behind Donald Trump. What you are doing, sir, with your platform is wrong. And those of us that are somewhat sensitive, we could see how sick you are energetically. You're not the same dude as last year because you're using this to send your audience to Satan. Am I speaking English? Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I said, but the very actions you are partaking in are akin to Satanism. And if you don't change your ways, you're going to end up in a hell of your own making. I don't even know if you know the wrong that you're up to. And I'm not speaking to my general audience. I'm speaking to the archetype out there that will use this for their political agenda. This feels wrong. This feels really, really wrong, and for anyone to do it. All right, let's continue. You see, a lot of the stuff that I'm turning to, because I'm not as well versed. Let's go to Psalms. I know that Psalms has various things that we can extract information. And if you do read various spiritual texts, you will find the teachings of Jesus shared throughout the world and civilization. Okay, people can go ahead and argue that Jesus didn't exist and blah, 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 but there are these spiritual teachings that were shared in Egypt, other principles in spirit shared in the Yucatan. We have the emerald tablets. We have ancient information. We have the Nag Hammadi. We don't just have this book. We have various books that are sharing this eternal story of the eternal battle of good and evil. And I would say that we're not victims for being in this reality. We're in these bodies. We're right where we need to be. And some people that profess, right, to want to go beyond the matrix, right? They don't seem to be understanding how their political ties to the structure is the matrix. So you have a case of the blind leading the blind. So again, I'm gonna return my focus to this book. Now I'm actually gonna read some stuff. Let's see if we can match some of the stuff up with things that are currently going on in our world today. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. Let's just start right there. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. Gee, what could that be talking about? Well, maybe if someone just rewrites in their own mind what is ungodly and they make it a left right, then they're in the clear, right? That's godly, that's ungodly. Well, free pass. Right on. Create your own reality. Kind of like that law of attraction stuff. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. That was Psalm 1. Let's continue. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. You all think natural law, right? I'm not going to interpret too much, but what goes around comes around, and there is a natural law, universal law that karma revolves around. It's not good to be a propagandist. There's karmic ties to that, connections to demons, archons, things like that. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day on night. He doesn't hop up screaming mad, going, Hillary's going to die. Hillary's going to die. Hillary's going to die. I'm a Christian. Hillary's going to die. I mean, that just doesn't make it. Oh, what's that? Pizzagate? Well, what about the Afghanis and the Iraqis that have been raped by U.S. troops? I'm sorry. That's too controversial for you. Very Christian, very truthful. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not. I'm starting to get excited. I'm going to read some more Bible. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. And let me just pause now and say, in the name of Jesus, please protect me from the ungodly in the name of Jesus. And help me in whatever way I can to make the world a better place while this internet still exists, while I'm still alive. Because I came to the realization in the last 24 hours, if anything takes me out of this world, it's a compliment. If the devil of this world manufactures any event that prematurely ends my life, there's part of a grander design behind that. If such an event would unfold. And there comes a point, and a lot of you that aren't in the alternative media, that haven't put yourself out there, you don't know what that's like to have the radar on you, right? But when you go through that, you face situations and people that make you become stronger, or you will fall. And there's many different ways I can elaborate that. A book would be a better way to do that in the future. But right now I'm still living my life, and chapters are still being written. And I'm starting to learn at an accelerated rate. I think there's a micro shift in awareness taking place. I think it's affecting some of you. I think it's affecting myself. We've seen a lot of this after the eclipse. And I would just recommend that a lot of us, like they say, get right with God. But in that is the courage to face the evil and the devil of this world. Because the devil and the evil of this world and the government structures, right, think that we're such a threat with our awakening that they have to do something to us physically. It's just a reflection of the impact that we're making on a larger level. And I do think there's a deeper reality to what we're doing here. If only we can put on the glasses like they live and not see things from just obey, slave, negativity, but literally see like our glow, especially when we're happy and we're focused and we're healthy. How often do you or I really think about how the food that we eat from the supermarket impacts our health and mood? And that includes the amount of meat and flesh. I'm not a vegan, right? But we need to start thinking about reality. Okay, let me keep going. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish, and it will take time. There are people out there right now, and you can see them in their mega churches. And some of these people have even promoted politicians and candidates that have expanded the war and the blood sacrifice for those that walk with the book to use it as propaganda or taking part in the blood sacrifice. It is real. And this is something that we have been dealing with from the ancient times. Blood sacrifice to the fallen gods that have masqueraded behind religious symbols and deities. This is real. You are not dreaming. And most of the world's population from Islam, even if there may be some peaceful things within it, their dark side of it, of course, is control, families for it. And then we have Judaism. We have multiple Abrahamic religions. Now, there aren't decent people that are members of some of these religions, but many of these world religions fall under this archon deity, according to Gnostic lore. For those of you that want to go down the rabbit hole and understand some of my understandings or beliefs, understand where this comes from, it's not that Jesus doesn't exist. It's not that God doesn't exist. It's that a lot of the things that people believe that relate to the creator actually relate to, in many cases, fallen gods. And I do believe this is the case with the Old Testament God and deity. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people, right, that are holding these books, right? But with the other hand, they're holding up the blood sacrifice system. And they've been misled into thinking that their actions don't really matter by just saying that you believe in Jesus, that you're saved from the devil of this world. Now, that is a practical joke. You ain't saved from nothing. If you've done harm to others and you've ran propaganda and you've hurt your family and you've hurt others and you've stolen and you've done corrupt things, unless you change your ways. There was a period in which I got into a lot of trouble, like at 19, 20, right? And I feel like the universe was showing me, don't go down that road. You're going to keep getting in trouble until you get on the right track. And then I had this spiritual experience, got out of those situations and found myself to alternative media. And I'm wondering where the next decade of my life is going to go. And I wonder how long I'll have to wait before the Lord or the Creator, I guess, gives me a better time. But I don't scream up to the Creator going, why have you forsaken me? Um, why are you punishing me? What did I do wrong? Sometimes I do. But ultimately, I don't think that we're a victim by being born here. I think that I've experienced miracles, and I think that my life was saved multiple times by the Creator. And I've spoken about this in detail on this channel. I've invoked the Creator. I've invoked ancestor energy, which has some roots in Sufism, which is not radical Islam. Okay. So there's like something within me and my soul that picked this body. Oh, I believe that, right? And I believe there are many people like Jesus that are alive today that aren't given credit, that are walked on, that are spat on by those that claim to be Christians. But they're able to do that by leaving the teachings of Jesus Christ out of their sermons and out of their discussions, and they have manipulated it to fit their agenda, meaning they aren't with Jesus and they aren't with God. Maybe fallen gods or deities, but not the ultimate creator. Using the word creator in a what feels to me a more accurate description of that which should be, where God is kind of in its own category that is taught that that is what it is. But there's ultimately, I believe, a supreme creator above all of this entire earth, that is above those entities that may have tried to create us in their image in a fallen state. And that is where people are misled. The create in their image, create in their image, create in their image. Okay, there's been a lot of physical tampering of the human genome, and they're still trying to model us into their image. This isn't over. But let me go back to Psalms, because I think we're onto something, and I'm not going to overdo it. I just want this to be some food for thought. We need to work on being authentic. Okay, Psalms 2. Why do the nations rage and the people plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, quote, let us break their bonds into pieces and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall hold them. I'm trying to enunciate this word, Derision. Sometimes I get a brain fart, as they say. Derision. Okay. Psalms 2:5. Then he shall speak to them in his wrath and distress them in his displeasure. We're talking about these corrupted kings. We're talking New World Order time. Okay. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, You are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance and the end of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Now, therefore, be wise, O kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry and you perish in the way in which his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all those who put their trust in him. Okay, Psalms 3. Lord, how they have increased trouble around me. Many are they who rise up against me. Many are they who say of me, there is no help from him in God. Salah. But you, O Lord, are a shield. Shield. And then you hear about the armor of God. And then you find out we have auras. And that by maintaining a strong field, not partaking in certain addictions, obviously, eating healthy, getting enough rest. But come on, your field, when you're working out and you're healthy and you're breathing, you're exercising, you're going to have a healthier electromagnetic field around us. So again, there's a number of ways people can interpret, but I'm not going to continue. I think that there's a lot of good things in Psalms, probably one of the better sections of the Bible. We will come back with more. I just think that, if we are going to be using this, right, it shouldn't be used as a weapon to misdirect people into political systems that continue to stamp the never-ending wars. That's trouble.